nationwide leader in sports. We'll see you later.
Baseball Tonight is driven by Chevy.
On Baseball Tonight, let's find out what Java's up to against the Mariners. 4-zip. Ken Griffey already with a big hit in the game. And now a 3-run home run. Yeets. Java Chamberlain, 3 innings, 6 hits, 7 earned runs. And the Red Sox are coming quickly in the rearview mirror. What does this all mean for the Yankees? Java in the postseason, we'll discuss that. And the Chicago Cubs, St. Louis Cardinals, Sunday Night Baseball. Chicago without Milton Bradley the rest of the season. He's been suspended. We'll talk with Steve Phillips about that. We have Peter Gammons, Dave Winfield, John Kruck, and I'm Carl Ravitch. Try to put some perspective on this AL Central race. The hardest thing, guys, if you're the team that's doing the chasing, is you really can't afford to lose a game. Because once you lose, you feel like you're losing more ground than just what you've made up. How about that defense from Placido Polanco early in this one? Twins go up 1-0.
Yeah, that first inning could have got real ugly for Nate Robertson right there. Polanco saved him, and we'll see what happens the rest of the way. But it's pretty good.
I'd like to be a catcher. Joe Mauer was getting hammered in this game.
He
Face.
Thought he's fighting Floyd Mayweather back
shoulder.
Jeez.
In the third now, Laird fouls one off of his mask.
When you want to be a catcher?
It's real easy to hit 370 when you get killed every day.
Amazing. We'll talk about that in Kruck's world, among other things, like the day that the Parks went to the Dogs. That's Carlos Guillen, big hit here, off the wall and right. Maglio would score. They were running all over the place, these Tigers.
Carlos Guillen. But that, you know what, they understand the importance, so they know what's on the line. This is a time to leave it all out there, and if you get hurt, you get hurt, but we'll worry about that tomorrow.
Oh, you love clutch hitting. Nick Punto delivers in the bottom of the fourth. Delman Young's in. Twins got a 2-1 lead. And speaking of clutch hitting, look at Polanco with 2 men on.
Not trying to do too much, just hitting the ball where it's pitched. You just need someone to put the bat on the ball.
That's
was
what he did. Huge. Later in the inning, Maglio Ordonez, a rifle shot back up the middle. Polanco's going to score. Ordonez first RBI in his last 15, but it's a 2-run lead. All right, so Gardenhire coming out, taking out Baker. Baker's been their best guy, Peter.
Absolutely, but Nate Robertson deserves a lot of credit for giving the Tigers on this important day a chance to beat their best.
Ryan Rayburn's gone as Ron Mahy comes on in relief. Twins out of a pickle. In the 8th, Rayburn's at the plate again. This time, Liriano delivers. Ow, you can't go there. 13th of the year. And the Tigers make it a nice 5-2 lead. Very quiet in the Metrodome right about now. Fernando Rodney trying to close it out. Nick Punto to ground out. All right, so they lost the first 2. They saw their lead begin to shrink, but all of a sudden it's back up to 3 games. It was 4 games. They lose 1 in the series, but that's a monumental victory, at least as far as it feels, and they move to 79-70. The schedule, of course, both these teams have 2 series on the road, and then Minnesota has to go to Detroit to wrap these series up. That's what's next for these guys. Neither team has been good on the road. 9 games under 500, 12 games under 500. The fact is, Detroit got this win, and they needed it. So, Winnie, we talk about the big bats. Cabrera is one of them. Ordonez has an RBI. That Polanco hit kind of stuck out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Detroit, you know, sometimes you're looking for the big boppers, whether it's Granderson or Miguel Cabrera. But today, it was Placido Polanco. He's a lifetime 300 hitter, plays great defense, doesn't strike out much at all. Here he comes up. Their team is down. They've lost the first 2, and there's a fastball in on his hands, but all he did was fist it to the opposite field. Even if he didn't get a base hit, he's going to hit it on the ground. The run's going to score, but he ends up with a base hit to right and drives in 2 to put his team in the lead. Then later on in the 8th, while they're still up, here he's got a big 6'11" guy on the mound, throwing one in on him, and he fouled it right off his hip. Oh, and he was in serious pain, but the veteran knows what he has to do. They looked after him for a couple minutes, and here's the next pitch, blowing away, and he goes down, just puts the bat on the ball, hits a long sacrifice fly to the opposite field, tacks on another run, and he's been an exceptional player for the last decade. And when it comes down to it, Detroit, this may be the last year. He's a free agent after this year. They have a young man named Sizemore that may end up playing second base, so the rest of the league can look around and possibly gather an all-star, great second baseman.
Now you mentioned Robertson. That was huge because Baker has been their guy.
He has been, and the fact is that since August 1st, the rest of the Twins starters 10-17. But I think a big thing for the Twins here is having to go back out on the road and play 9 in a row. Fact is, they have the biggest home field advantage in the American League. Over the last 5 years, they have a .594 winning percentage at home, .465 on the road. The 3 teams that have better home records, Red Sox, Angels, Yankees, are all well over 500 at home at that time.
All right, let's take a look at the Beck's keys to the series. And Kruck, doesn't it? It just feels like this was a huge win for the Tigers. I mean, it kind of quiets what the Twins have been doing.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, you feel like they stole a game here today to avoid a sweep, but what it did was it just put Minnesota further back than what they had hoped for. When you're losing games in a series, you know, you win 2 out of 3, you feel good about yourself. But once you win the first 2 like Minnesota did, you wanted to nail down this win with your best pitcher. They didn't get it done. Could hurt them.
Keys to the Series is brought to you by Beck's, the beer that said no to anything but all-natural ingredients. Beck's, different by choice.
All right, now that NL wildcard race, the Dodgers seem to be kind of comfortable now out top of the West. The wildcards get the Rockies leading the Giants, and here against Arizona, an Ian Stewart single makes it 2-1. They've added another one, 3-1.
Like beating Baker. I mean, Danny Herron, 4 starts against him, 138 ERA, a 32-3 strikeout walk ratio. It's been the toughest pitcher in the league for Colorado.
And that's impressive for Colorado to have that lead. Now the Giants, they send their guy to the mound against the Dodgers. That's Tim Lincecum. Randy Wolf, 5-0, 209 ERA in his last 6 starts. So Andres Torres, that's the way to start if you're the Giants. Here on the road.
Don't rest on it.
You get up by a score of 1-0.
That's a good start. I mean, that's about as good a start as you can have.
I can't think of a better one.
No, me neither.
You can't kind of get a 2-run shot when you're leading off. Benji Molina, though.
He'll probably turn this one.
Yeah.
Chance.
Yeah.
Looked like he could have gone around the other way. Run the third, back to first.
Did he pull something?
No, that's just him.
Oh, okay.
Lincecum, a 3-0 count to Wolf, and he walked him on ball 4. Lincecum didn't have great control in this game.
Now, a friend of mine behind home plate said he looked out of sync from the beginning and was really just sort of casting his curveball.
One of my favorites. Anytime we can get a Peter friend behind home plate, that means we are right at the ballgame.
The great one has friends everywhere.
He does.
And you got to watch what you're doing when you're out.
How big's Ronnie Belliard been for this team? 2-score, 4-1.
Orlando Hudson was unbelievable the first half of the season. He gets hurt, and now you pick up Ronnie Belliard, picks up where the O-Dog left off.
Ethier man on, tough pitch to take, but he does. It's ball 4. Lincecum is yanked. First time he hasn't gone at least 5 since opening day. He's at the bat. Later in the inning, Brandon Metters on relief. Rafael Furcal from third would score.
Was a little up.
A little bit. Lincecum, 4 innings, 5 earned. All right, boys, we're all over the obvious stuff today. I love that. The double play turn, that one was a little off.
Wow.
Lead-off home run.
Look at Manny.
Manny.
Look at Manny chasing that one down.
He had to admire that one.
I don't blame him, but where was he going?
He wasn't going anywhere.
No, that ball's done.
Give him credit. He did what you would hope Manny would do, would just look at it. Manny usually does other things.
At least he didn't run in.
Right. Or throw the glove up at it. All right, so the Dodgers leading the Giants here 5-2. The Rockies, they're leading their game as well. We'll keep our eyes on both and see if the Rockies can increase their advantage in that National League wild card race. When we come back on this edition of Baseball Tonight, there are other teams still in this wild card race. In fact, Atlanta had the same number of losses that the Giants did when this day began. Would they add to it? Hey, the Yankees could actually clinch a playoff spot, although not the way Jabba came out and delivered. And Dice K dealing. About a month ago, Dave Winfield said he was going to be a huge part of the puzzle. He's fitting in really well right now.
Baseball Tonight is driven by Chevy, honoring the spirit of community by supporting the 2009 Roberto Clemente Award. And in part by One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of MLB, specially formulated for men.
The dream is still alive, someday it will come true. And this country, it belongs to folks like me and you. So let the voice of freedom sing out through this land. This is our country.
On the field and off, he gave all he had to give. And his legacy lives on in the Roberto Clemente Award. Proudly supported by Chevy.
I had a pretty good job, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. And I thought, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I probably don't want to do it tomorrow. And I told my dad, I want to start a brewery.
I told him, I think you're crazy.
I started Sam Adams with Boston Lager to make rich, flavorful beer.
And he went and sold it one bottle at a time. No one had tried an American beer that had that kind of flavor. Boston Lager really was a groundswell.
There's that saying, do something you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. I don't feel like I've worked for 24 years.
Welcome back to Baseball Tonight, driven by Chevy.
Reminder, Baseball Tonight next Sunday will follow the Red Sox and Yankees on ESPN around 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Red Sox-Yankees at 1, Baseball Tonight next Sunday afternoon start. It's starting to feel a little bit like the Red Sox and Yankees have a good chance to meet in that LCS. Now the Angels and Tigers currently will have something to say about it, but Boston's playing really well. Part of the reason, Daisuke Matsuzaka's return to that 18-game form that he won last year. 2 starts, 2 outstanding performances. Now to the 3rd inning, 4-0 Red Sox. Jason Birkin to Alex Gonzalez. The Red Sox playing in Baltimore feels like it's a home game for the Red Sox.
Yeah, the Orioles people like to complain about all the Red Sox fans here. Maybe it has something to do with the Orioles owner.
Think about that one for a while. Red Sox up 6-0 on that Ellsbury ground rule double. Brian Roberts, he made some good plays in the field. He got victimized by a web gem there. Great 4-6-3 double play. Jason Bay, 35th of the year.
He's had 2/3 of a year. He had a great first part, and he didn't do anything for a while, and now he's back. He's back.
He is back. Red Sox are up 7-0. Bottom 6, Matt Wieters. Yeah, tough hop over Victor Martinez.
Nothing you can do.
No. Then after Matsuzaka walks Luke Scott, Ty Wigington. That one went over the heart of the plate. Loaded for the Orioles. Matsuzaka gets pulled 5 1/3. 3 earned, 5 Ks. Ramon Ramirez is in. And Michael Aubrey gets walked. 8-3. The next batter is Justin Turner. That'll help. A 5-4-3 double play to Daisuke, who feels like he's more part of the team all of a sudden.
Well, there's a lot about Daisuke to like in these 2 starts. I mean, I still think his velocity will pick up. This is like the end of spring training for him. But the fact is, he's in much better shape. He's repeating his delivery better than he ever has. His arm is much quicker. He's getting swings and misses in the strike zone. A couple players said to me, we didn't see that at all last year. We're seeing it a lot. We saw it again today. Fact is, 73 pitches in 5 1/3. He used to have 73 pitches in 2 1/3 innings.
Right. Look at the numbers here and the other statistics that go to speak to these numbers. Fastballs in September, guys are hitting 230 off, and before that they were at 404. The other numbers behind in the count, they were hitting $182 off him in September.
I think it's great too that he's going to be fresh going into October. He might not pitch in the first series, but if they should get by the Angels, he'll certainly become a very important factor in the ALCS or the World Series.
How many times does he need to take the mound and succeed in order for you to believe what he's doing?
Or all he has to do is maintain this delivery and this stuff. I mean, and the crispness of this delivery. And to me, he's just been much better challenging hitters. I mean, I think it was as if he became a little tentative when it came to big guys in lineups. He's been very different in these 2 starts.
All right, so Matsuzaka gets the win. The Red Sox get the victory over the Orioles. I believe 18-game series. Boston went 16-2 against them. Certainly something you can find out on ESPNBoston.com for Boston fans and sports fans who either like or hate Boston sports teams. It is an outstanding website featuring, among others, our own Peter Gammons, Mike Reese, who covers the New England Patriots. An excellent, excellent website, as is the websites that feature the Chicago material, and you'll see others over the coming weeks and months here. Texas and LA, the Rangers all of a sudden disappearing off the radar map. That's Nelson Cruz, a 1-2 pitch, back up the middle. 2 runs come in. The Rangers would score 3 in the first. 4-2, Derek Holland on the mound. Juan Rivera. Ouch, you can't go there, and Rivera makes it 4-3 now.
There's more to come.
in the form of Howie Kendrick in the 6th inning with a man on. Holland goes down and Kendrick goes out.
This is a good sign because the Angels had been one of the 2 best offensive teams in the league until about 2 weeks ago. They have struggled now with the bat. They showed signs of really coming back.
And even Gary Matthews Jr. is getting into it. Oppo, 6-5.
He had two different kind of days today. He lost his mind on one play to him, and then he hit the ball very well.
The famous Neftali Feliz, who throws really hard at 94. There, a walk to Torrey Hunter. And then Vlad Guerrero. He got jammed, but he's able to get it up the middle for a hit.
Where was the shortstop there?
Playing the pull on 100 miles an hour. That's a tough spot. Jason Grilly's in. The shine off Feliz a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, just, you know.
You almost expect miracles.
Yeah, it's a 20-year-old kid.
Kendrick to center. It gets past Bird. All 3 come around to score. And the Angels get a 9-5 lead. One more look. Bird was so close to catching it. But instead, the Angels win it by a final score of 10-5. So as Peter points out, they got some hits. Now Lackey gives up 4 earned in 6. How comfortable are the Angels, Mr. G, with their pitching work?
They're very comfortable. Lackey is throwing the ball as well as he has all year. And Kazmir is throwing the ball really well. You get Weaver. I'll tell you, somebody else is a key. Howie Kendrick went back to the minor leagues because of his lack of discipline at the plate. He has been hitting almost .350 the last 6 weeks. If I had one Angel up at the plate with a game on the line, I would want Howie Kendrick.
Howie Kendrick's been clutch. All right, meantime, this is a sight for sore eyes in Philadelphia. Against the Braves, Brad Lidge is on in the 9th inning. We all know how difficult it's been for Lidge to get through the 9th inning. Omar Infante chases that pitch. 1 man down, 2 man down. He does give up a guy on second base. Brian McCann would bring a run in. That made it 4-2. Now McLeod, he gets out of it. Small victories as Lidge picks up the save, and the Phillies beat the Braves by a score of 4-2. And the Braves, of course, still kind of sneaking around that wild card race, but this loss is not going to help. Yankees and the Mariners, Teixeira. Josh Wilson's at short, calling everybody off, making the catch. 1 man down. The next batter's A-Rod. Ian Snell gets him. And the next batter's Matsui. So Ian Snell had those 2 guys on, and he gets out of the inning.
Carl, things can go south quickly. You get out of these big jams, all it does is give your offense a boost.
2 outs. Ken Griffey Jr., bottom 1. Good worry.
Sight that is.
Off the wall, and 1 run scores. An RBI double makes it 1-zip. The next batter's Beltray. Up the middle, and Griffey's going to score.
Seattle's a dangerous club. They've had the biggest turnaround this season than just about any ball club.
Bottom 2, same score. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Chamberlain intentionally walks Ichiro to load the bases. That works out well unless you walk the next guy.
Joppa's delivery today was out of sync.
The next batter's Jose Lopez. This guy lifts one into center for a sac fly, makes it 4-0. And at the beginning of the show, we showed you this. So, is Ken Griffey coming back next year?
I think there's a very good chance of it. I hope so. I just love having him around the game.
Griffey doing some significant damage to the Yankees today. The swing hasn't changed, not one bit. He may not be able to hit the balls he once hit, but the swing is identical. It hit Posada. Oh, Josh Wilson, bookends. Makes the catch to start the highlight and the catch to end the highlight. Right now it's the Mariners 7 and the Yankees 1. With the Rangers losing, if the Yankees were to win this game, they would have clinched a playoff spot. But the big story in this thing's got to be Jabba Chamberlain. 3 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs. All of them were earned. Look at what he has done in his last 5 starts. With the number of pitches, his ERA is 7.88. This show has talked a lot about the impact that this whole thing has had on him. Krucky, what do you make of today's effort?
Well, Carl, I said it about 2 weeks ago. It's had a negative impact on Jabba Chamberlain. Look, I understand he wants to be on a regular rotation, diminish his innings, diminish his pitch count to try to keep him fresh for the postseason. But what does this do to a guy's confidence of how he's just been getting beat around? I mean, this is Seattle Mariners. Let's take a look at what happened to him today. And the problem he had today was the differential in his fastball slider. He was 92, 93 with his fastball, 87, 88 with the slider. Here's a 92-mile-an-hour fastball with the fastball drip. He hits for the double. But look at this right here, 88 miles an hour right there to Adam Moore, a slider down away. Joba usually puts guys away with that slider, but when his fastball's only 92, there's not that much differential. You can rest back on that slider. Now you don't have to go out and get it. Ken Griffey Jr., what's the big knock on Ken Griffey this year? Well, he can't hit the good fastball anymore. 93 middle in, Jr. turns it around and hits it out of the ballpark. Tell me what good Joba Chamberlain has done right now. When you look at the Yankees rotation, they have CC Sabathia who's going to be number 1. And to me, where does Joba fit in? Where does he fit in the postseason for this team? Is he a bullpen guy? Is he going to be a starter? Because right now, he's an average major league pitcher at best because of how the Yankees have handled him.
Big start, too, tomorrow for Andy Pettitte and those New York Yankees. Back to the Rockies and the D-backs. Wow, Jason Giambi's hitting home runs every day. A little scary element to the Rockies. Yesterday and today, another one.
That's what they got him for. That's what they got him for.
And he's delivering. We'll come back. So Pettitte's got a huge start tomorrow. Every start for the Dodgers seems to be a big start because beyond Randy Wolf, there appear to be a lot of question marks. We showed you the end of the Phillies game. What about the beginning and the middle? Stay where you are.
Next, if Mr. Van Pelt comes up with a popular new catchphrase, he will receive 12 new vanity license plates with said phrase.
Shaz Bagel.
Further, if Mr. Van Pelt uses more 5-syllable words than any other anchor, he will have a sandwich named after him in the cafeteria.
It will be called the Scott Van Melt.
Delicious. And finally, if Mr. Van Pelt wins an Emmy Award, he'll be allowed to wear a Snuggie on air for an entire year.
Okay. Everything but the Snuggie.
What? We're going to need the Snuggie.
We didn't know which of the 3,296 Holiday Inn hotels you'd be staying in. So we're refreshing all of them. Holiday Inn, official partner of Major League Baseball road trips.
Access to favorite courses. Chef's meal with palm frite. Perhaps a night at the theater with extra special seats. Additional hotel night, our treat. Your world in perfect harmony, priceless. Look for World on your MasterCard to get rewards and offers that matter to you.
There is no secret to success, not as a CEO or anything else. It takes leadership and a long view, a belief in yourself and an ability to inspire others. And there's no secret to learning these things either. People have been doing it for more than 230 years as officers in the United States Army.
An Army officer learns to lead on the field and in any field. Can you? Find out at goarmy.com/officer.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Listen up, because this is important. Other people are talking. They're just saying that someone nice like you shouldn't be on their own. You know, alone. So why aren't you at Cupid.com? Just set up your account and start meeting new people in seconds. Local people. And it's free to join. Who would you rather be listening to? Me? Or someone with a face behind the voice? Someone you just met on Cupid.com. Exactly. Cupid.com. Real people, real relationships, real easy.
Knock on a door? Hello? And someone opens it.
Hi there.
At quadhelpwanted.com, we help people looking for a job.
You're looking for me?
Find people who are looking for people looking for a job.
Come on in.
If you're posting a job, you can use as many words as you want and find qualified local candidates. Looking for a job? Post your resume for free. Let us be the doorway to your success. quadhelpwanted.com. Long name.
Come on in.
Amazing results.
They say imports always get the best mileage.
Well, do they know this Malibu offers an EPA estimated 33 miles per gallon highway?
They never heard that.
Which is better than a comparable Toyota Camry or Honda Accord.
They're stunned. They can't believe it. They need a minute.
I had a feeling they would. There's never been more reasons to look at Chevy.
Baseball Tonight, Chevy Clubhouse. Brought to you by Chevy.
Nobody pulls into the Baseball Tonight Chevy clubhouse like the great Mr. Gammons. You go back to the Baseball Tonight promo when he was driving with, was that a pigeon in the car?
Yes.
Yes, a pigeon in the car. So
hopefully I'll never drive with a pigeon again.
Yes, we know that he can drive. That being said, Peter, let's talk about driving the Dodgers into this postseason. Randy Wolf pitched today, and beyond him, we saw Billingsley and Padilla when we went to break. Reason for optimism is what?
Well, John Garland and Vicente Padilla, maybe. Randy Wolf's probably going to be their first game starter. But now, we still don't know about Clayton Kershaw. I mean, we don't know. He hasn't pitched yet. He had the separation in his right shoulder. That's his lead shoulder. We don't know what's going to happen with him. And, I mean, what's going to happen? What will be the impact of that? He's got a fairly violent delivery. And it's probably good that he's lumped some innings off of that total, but still. But then Chad Billingsley, who has got an ERA of about 5.50 since the All-Star break, his stuff is way down. He's become a cutter master. They put him into relief on Friday night, and it was a disaster. He's going to try to pitch Wednesday against the pesky Nats in Washington. But, I mean, they need Billingsley. They need Kershaw. This is going to be a rough, as great as that team is in the field, they need those two guys.
Billingsley's the whole, he lands on that leg. His knee pronates?
Yeah, pronates is kind of a funny delivery. It's his, you know, one ex-pitcher said it's like trying to stop a car going 80 miles an hour.
It's hard to do, especially immediately. So the Dodgers are going to try to figure this pitching thing out in their game today against San Francisco. They jumped all over Tim Lincecum, who didn't even get into the fifth. What a wild pitch from Bob Howry. That allows another run to come in as Furcal touches home. So the Dodgers get a nice lead over the Giants, 6-2. Giants start Lincecum and don't win. That's a tough one for them to deal with. To the Colorado-Arizona game, and Dan Herron on the mound, throwing a slider on the outside corner early on, strike 3. And then Jason Giambi has gone fishing. He's actually, I've been surprised with his productivity lately.
He's really helped them in the clubhouse even more.
All right, so Herron gets spillboards. Torrealba's gone. Dan Herron strikes out the side. Bottom 2. There he is at the plate. Little single down the right field line is going to score Gerardo Parra. Diamondbacks are up 1-0. You look at teams, Peter, that have kind of collapsed, and they were never really great, but boy, Arizona's fallen off the map.
Arizona's got a worse record than San Diego. This is unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. All right, in the 5th, same score. Giambi on the screws delivers a single up the middle. That's the first base runner allowed by Herron, and then once that happens, Dan would find himself dealing with other troubles. Ubaldo Jimenez gets Chris Young, 8 Ks in the game at that point. Bottom 6, Parra to shortstop. Jimenez got 13 in a row at one point. That's the guy they're going to need in the postseason.
Oh, absolutely, but this is how you beat Dan Herron. You keep it close, you don't let Arizona score, and hopefully he makes a mistake or two and you capitalize.
Billboards to left, the next batter, Torrealba's going to come up. This is an RBI opportunity for him. He's come through with some big hits for them. Yorvit Torrealba. Tulo's in, it's 1-1.
1-1 baseball game.
Oh, he went up top. The next batter's Ian Stewart.
I love when they do that.
Past Brandon Allen, Spillboards is going to come in. Rocky Pride, they're up 2-1. So Jimenez keeps a minute with his pitching. And the suicide squeeze, what a job.
Great job by
Try to run to first.
Barmes would get thrown out at first. I don't even think he thought that was...
Well, that pitch was so far inside. All he cared about was getting out of the way and getting wood on it to get it on the ground. Then he wanted to watch.
And he watched the run score. Then he got a chance to watch G-Man.
Gambino.
Signature shot. 5-1. Rockies over the Diamondbacks as the G-Man has got 11 RBIs in 15 at-bats since joining the Colorado Rockies.
He's been reborn in Colorado.
All right, to the Marlins and the Reds. Neither of these teams are really finding themselves reborn. Although Florida's got a new ballpark coming in a couple of years, so that should help. And Dusty's got the Reds playing. They're battling. They're scrappy.
goes back and it's gone. Corky Miller.
I believe Corky just went yard.
Love when Corky goes out.
Now to the 7th inning. In a 5-0 red leg game. Hanley not happy. El Nino gone. I'm done. Get me out of here. Pretty impressive. They also flashed some leather in this game, did the Reds. And then Joey Votto the other way. It's gone. He's got 22 with a couple of RBIs. The Reds all over the Marlins by a score of 8-1. Let's think of that NL wildcard race, and sure it's much of a race anymore. There are the Giants sitting there 3 back in the loss column and currently losing while the Rockies are winning. We may, with the Tigers beating the Twins, and the Rangers losing and the Red Sox winning, and now the Rockies winning and the Giants losing and the Marlins losing. Is it possible they're all over? Let's focus on the NL wild card. Is this the Rocky world?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I really do. You know, they have a guy who's an established ace, Ubaldo Jimenez, who is just fantastic. You saw what he did today against Dan Herron. But, you know, I think the addition of Jason Giambi, Carl, just been huge for this team because, you know, they needed leadership. They needed a guy they could look up to, a guy that's been there and done it. You know, even though they were in the World Series a couple years ago, he is that guy, and he's been a great clubhouse influence on those young players. And, you know, I think that's what they needed to get them more gelled together and get them playing the way they are right now.
Plus, you just look at it. Lincecum goes and gets hit. Herron goes, and they're able to, the Rockies, hit Herron. You know, they're kind of statement games and games you figure Herron would succeed, and Lincecum, and it's been the other way.
It has been the other way. Now they go home where they play so well. But fact is that guys like Tulowitzki have come through so huge down the stretch as champions. They're a very interesting team. Last night, the lowest batting average in the first 6 guys in the order with 282. There's nobody else in the National League with a lineup like that.
Scary.
Yeah, well, hey, the Rockies, you know, they stumbled. They've had their scare recently, but they're going home for a 9-game homestand. They're going to play the Dodgers, the Cardinals, and the Brewers, and they've fared very well against these teams, and they've been 45-27 at home. They're going to close it out. San Francisco made a good run of it. They've come back admirably this year, but I don't think they have enough gas in the tank.
A numbers guy now. Give you the 45 and
every once in a while.
A numbers guy.
He's stats and analysis winning.
Winning's in September. Mr. September on this show. We'll come back. You up on baseball tonight. Old school, new school. Roy and that guy David Price. And Wainwright goes for his 19th. Plus Milton Bradley suspended for the rest of the year. We'll be joined by Steve Phillips next.
People think that Honda is always the most fuel-efficient choice. Well, the Chevy Cobalt XFE has better highway mileage than a comparable Honda Civic. The Chevy Traverse has better mileage than a Honda Pilot. The all-new Chevy Equinox has better mileage than Honda CR-V, and Chevy Malibu has better mileage than Accord. However, Honda does make something that we just can't compete with. It's self-propelled. There's never been more reasons to look at Chevy.
I'm Nelson, and this is my Citgo. Salisbury is a wonderful little town. It's the kind of place where folks ask how you're doing and are really interested in the answer. As a local business, we're proud of the jobs we provide in this community, and we're especially proud of the ways that we give back and the local causes we support.
Every Citgo is locally owned, and they're at every turn.
We treat our customers like friends, and who doesn't want more friends?
Hey, Mom, I need some minutes.
I just gave you some at the restaurant.
Yeah, no, I threw them out. They were old.
Old?
So...
They're rollover minutes. They are as good as new. You know, not everyone gets to keep their unused minutes. And these days, we can't afford to be wasteful. Saving minutes.
Saves money, yeah.
Only AT&T's Family Talk with Rollover saves your family's unused minutes. And saving minutes saves money. Now get 50% off all Samsung touchscreen phones after mail-in rebate. Only from AT&T.
Sometimes being there means helping you afford everything a true fan needs. That's why State Farm has so many ways to save. So there's more for the little things.
The Colts battle the Dolphins at 8:30 on ESPN Monday Night Football.
Steroids can really damage your body. They can cause tendons to tear and bones to stop growing, damage kidneys, destroy the liver, even cause heart attacks and strokes. Not to mention something else they can do to a guy's body. Find out more about the dangers of using steroids. Visit drugfree.org.
Texas fight, Texas fight.
And it's goodbye to A&M.
Texas fight, and we'll put over one more win. Yeah, we're Texas, just north of Mexico, home of the armadillo, black gold and El Arroyo.
What is that?
It's just freestyling.
We don't freestyle Texas fight, big boy.
Think you know? Text CGD to 43776. ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, Saturdays at 10 a.m.
You're watching Baseball Tonight, driven by Chevy.
On Baseball Tonight, the Blue Jays and the Rays. And by the way, that's Roy Halladay on the mound. Nobody outman on first, Carl Crawford. So is it the fact that he wasn't traded? What's happened to Halladay?
I think he's caught up to him a little bit, right? But, you know, he still had a phenomenal year. We have to say about Greinke winning the Cy Young. Halladay's faced Red Sox and Yankees 8 times, Blue Jays 4 times. Greinke not one start against Boston in a row.
A tough tread for Roy Halladay. Edwin Encarnacion takes Price out. It's a 2-1 game. Up and up the middle, Scutero. Hurt his ankle. He'd leave the game. And now the bases are loaded. Halladay gets Jason Bartlett to go deep to right to end the inning. So Roy's doing his job. He's got Toronto in the game. Bottom of the 8th, Jesse Carlson now in. Willie Ibar is the first batter he faced. What a buzzkill that is.
Yeah, running out of the bullpen for that.
3-1, Rays beat the Jays. Halladay now 15-10.
You want to be a reliever?
No.
No, thank you.
Well, if you're well compensated, you can kind of get by. Chase Utley, gone. And a throwdown. Victorino. Oh. The helmet slamming, he is gone. He probably had a legitimate argument, but he's gone.
That's the thing. He hasn't played in 3 games because of a, some stomach disorder he had, and then gets thrown out in the first inning. It's not really helping Charlie Manuel out a whole lot.
That isn't that. I mean, it's like a couple of times Manny Ramirez has been thrown out for putting on the ground. I don't know.
Oh, it wasn't any. I mean, unless he said the magic word.
Umpire said if it hits the ground, you're out of here.
1-0 Reyes. Francisco goes to right. One's going to come in.
Oh, he's a good fielder, but he ain't that good.
We're tied at 1.
That one before it hit the ground.
On to the 4th, Raul Ibanez. That one is deep to left field, and this one will go to the top of the wall. 1 run's going to come in. Phillies lead at 2-1. Ibanez beginning to hit again a little bit for the Phillies.
Well, they're going to need that come postseason time, Carl, because they rely so much on the home run that if they have 4 guys hitting homers, they have a chance. If they have 1 or 2, not so much.
Utley triples to right center. That makes it 4-1 in favor of the Phillies. That pitch was right where McCann wanted it, and Utley killed it.
It was inside. He just drew his hands inside and threw the head, and that ball jumped. Utley's had another great year.
Thomas Hanson kind of looking in there, wondering, all right, 5 innings, 4 earned, 7 Ks, done, 10-4. So the Phillies win it. We showed you Lidge come in and get the save, although he did give up a run. He now has 31 saves on the season. But the Braves lose. So again, every chaser in these races lost, and all the teams that were out in front of them won today.
Like good day for the Rabbits.
Yeah, all the races took a significant step towards ending today. Albert Pujols and Joe Morgan right there behind him, giving him some hitting lessons, some pointers. Watch. Yes, sir. Cubs and Cardinals comes up at 8 o'clock Eastern time. The NL batting average leaders, not this year, this decade. 2 of the 3 currently play for the Cardinals. The NL home run leaders this decade is Pujols, clear of all of them by a lot. And your Triple Crown winner, Albert Pujols, this decade. He's been a good 90s, the 2000s, I think.
Pretty good run for him, yeah.
Career OPS, the only players in history better, Ruth, Gehrig, Williams.
That's Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, and?
Wasn't Matt?
No, and Lou Gehrig. No, it wasn't Matt.
Matt Williams could hit, though.
Let's bring in Steve Phillips, who's going to help describe the action. The game is at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Don't forget, SportsCenter will follow us with the NFL highlights. And Steve, certainly the story that's kind of ruminating through Chicago, Milton Bradley suspended for the season. Can you add to that?
Jim Henry, the general manager for the Cubs, addressed the media in the Cubs dugout during batting practice today, and he said they just got to the point they felt like they had to do it. A little bit fed up with the fact that Milton Bradley has really lashed out at the fans in Chicago over the recent days. He's kind of lashed out about the negativity around the team and around the organization the last couple of days. Got in a run-in with Von Joshua, the hitting coach, after the game yesterday, and he was in the lineup yesterday and pulled himself out. That knee still bothering him, and I think the Cubs got to the point where they just said, you know what, enough's enough. They suspended him for the rest of the year. And this is about Milton Bradley, but it's also about sending a message to the other players that sort of behavior, those sorts of comments are not acceptable to the Chicago Cubs.
What's the future for Bradley in Chicago, do you think, Steve? Done?
Well, you know what? I think, listen, he's got 2 years, about $20 million left on that contract, and the question is, can they move him? Now, teams out there could look at it and say, listen, Milton Bradley's the guy that last year led the American League in OPS. He's a talented guy, probably needs to go to a small market without a lot of media attention. So I think there will be some interest in him, but at a major discount to the Chicago Cubs.
Yes, that he needs to be in a place where he's comfortable, where it's a little less hectic, where aren't people asking him a lot of questions. Tiny market, they may be able to accomplish that. Adam Wainwright goes for his 19th. The Cy Young races have been really good. He may be the leading candidate in the National League after we saw Sabathia get his 18th in the American League.
Well, he's doing everything you want a Cy Young Award winner to do. He's leading in wins with 18, as you talked about. Only 8 losses. The 2.59 ERA. Third best in the National League. And how about 15 of his last 16 starts? 15 of the last 16 allowed 2 or fewer runs. And he also goes deep into the game. He has the most innings pitched in the National League. In 26 of his last 27 starts, he's gone 6 or more innings. So he's been so consistently good for Tony La Russa and the Cardinals. And he clearly is in the race for the Cy Young in the National League.
Now, you talk to general managers, they'll say, just get us into the tournament. Get us into the postseason. We'll worry about everything then. It'd be nice to have home field advantage, and the race in the National League is a good one. The Cardinals are certainly in that. Why so important for them?
Well, I think really important. Obviously, home field advantage is a major part of that. But the other issue is this. The St. Louis Cardinals this year hitting only .232 against left-handed pitching. That's the worst in the National League. Now, when you look at the teams they may face in the playoffs, well, you know what? The Los Angeles Dodgers have Randy Wolf and Clayton Kershaw, 2 quality left-handers. The Philadelphia Phillies have Cliff Lee and Cole Hamels. So really for the Cardinals, they want to have the best record and hope to draw the Colorado Rockies. Now, Jorge De La Rosa has obviously been a very good pitcher since the 1st of June as a left-hander. But I think that with the matchups, the way they look, I think the Cardinals best situated to take on the Colorado Rockies in that first round of the playoffs.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Zambrano, Wainwright, 8 o'clock Eastern time again, folks, is the start of the game tonight on ESPN. This reminder, we've talked about ESPNBoston.com and ESPNChicago.com. All things Bears, Bulls, White Sox, Cubs, Aussie related as well. Baseball tonight, right back at you. When we come back, we'll get into the world of John Kruck.
No, boy.
Now, what do you have to do with the dogs? Why would whoa, look out.
Hey.
Well, baseball field, fun and violence. And the very famous girl throwing the ball back on the field. And the diamond cuts. They're ahead of us, so stay where you are.
Tomorrow on Monday Night Countdown.
Richmond, Florida, Buffalo.
Peyton Manning gets wired for sound. Joey Porter gets unmasked. And you'll get warmed up for Colts Dolphins. Monday Night Countdown, tomorrow at 7 on ESPN.
These days, when you have to spend, shopping online can help save. Doing it with Bank of America can help save a lot more. Up to 20% cash back from over 300 online retailers with our Added Up program. Just sign up and use your Bank of America debit or credit card when you shop online. It's one of the many ways we make saving money in tough times a whole lot easier.
Whoa, welcome to Taco Bell.
$1.99? 2 half-pounders, please.
To be honest, Mr. Holyfield, even someone your size only needs 1.
Yeah, but I'm taking my mama to lunch.
Just 1 and you're done. Taco Bell's new $1.99 half-pounders. Whoa, featuring the new Nacho Crunch Burrito. For just $1.99, you get double the seasoned beef and all the good stuff. Think outside the bun.
didn't know which of the 3,296 Holiday Inn hotels you'd be staying in. So we're refreshing all of them. Holiday Inn, official partner of Major League Baseball road trips.
2 out of 3.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Listen up, because this is important. Other people are talking. They're just saying that someone nice like you shouldn't be on their own. You know, alone. So why aren't you at Cupid.com? Just set up your account and start meeting new people in seconds. Local people. And it's free to join. Who would you rather be listening to? Me? Or someone with a face behind the voice? Someone you just met on Cupid.com. Exactly. Cupid.com. Real people, real relationships, real easy.
Knock on a door?
Hello?
And someone opens it.
Hi there.
At quadhelpwanted.com, we help people looking for a job.
You're looking for me?
Find people who are looking for people looking for a job.
Come on in.
If you're posting a job, you can use as many words as you want and find qualified local candidates. Looking for a job? Post your resume for free. Let us be the doorway to your success. quadhelpwanted.com. Long name.
Come on in.
Amazing results.
To the 42. There's 25 goals in the lead lap.
Leading the chase by 63 points.
3 in, 3 off. 31-70 on the 10. 48 and 5 are running fairly well. 42 coming off the 2. 66 with you. 1, 2, 3 got me. 31-90.
Third consecutive championship.
When it comes down to it, there's only one number that counts.
You're watching Baseball Tonight, driven by Chevy.
My Brewer Pride taking on the Astros in the bottom of the first inning. It is 2-zip Prince Fielder against Felipe Paulino, and we have liftoff.
Shadows everywhere. He still crushed it.
Crushed almost doesn't do him justice.
And that wasn't the big violent swing that he has. That was just, you know, I'm gonna try to hit this up the middle. Yeah, okay.
Every number that Prince has put up, he is not a Prince anymore. He's a king amongst men. Homers, RBIs, on base, runs created. That's a big Krucky statistic, right? Runs created.
I love runs created, yes.
So do I.
Peter's all over that.
I'm told that there is only a minimal chance that they'll even discuss trading him in the offseason. It would take a ton to do it.
Can't trade him. E-Man? Tied for first in number of games as well. Okay.
Oh, boy.
It's that insane time of the show where we go to the Krucky's world. We saw, I believe, going to a break, some dogs.
Yeah.
I love this idea, with the exception of the dogs that don't behave.
Carl, I love dogs. I have one of my own, my family. You know, we have a nice little yellow lab. He's
There's a
beautiful. He's
coming.
great. He's
Qualified.
friendly. But I would never take him to a ball game. I just don't understand this. Look, cute dog and all, but, you know, look at the kid in front. You know, you have nachos, you have popcorn, you have a hot dog, and a dog's wagging his tail. Dogs need to be at home. Here's a play right here, though. Elvis Anderson, this Texas game. Look, bang, bang play. Look at Gary Pettis, the first base coach. Watch him right here. Watch him show the emotion. Look at him right here. Look at him. He's safe. No. Oh, come on. You're kidding me. But look, he seems to care more than Elvis Anderson. I know he's upset, but it doesn't seem like it bothered him as much as it bothered the coach. And that to me is kind of scary. Now, Joe Mauer, we know Justin Moore knows that. Joe Mauer's going to have to carry the load offensively for this team. But look what he has to do defensively. He takes one off the shoulder. He takes one off the chin. Look at this one right off the top of the noggin right there. You talk about a guy who's hitting 360, 370 something, leading the league in hitting, and he has to go through that every day. That's a man right there. But here's the funny part of the whole day. Ooh. Look at the ball boy right there. I mean, he whiffed on that one pretty good, but look at the guys in the bullpen, Carl. Watch these guys. Look at them. Look at their hands right. Like, hey, come on, man. What happened there, man? You missed that by 10 feet. We got smoked. Your job to protect it. You want to be a ball boy? That's the toughest part of the job, especially when you're that close to the guys in the bullpen.
Supportive of him? You don't think hey, we'll get him next time?
Oh yeah, they'll get him in the dugout or in the clubhouse after the game. They'll tell you, hey man, you know, good job today, good job. But you know, they got to get on. You got to get on him for that.
Now, if in fact you had a plate of nachos and a dog came over and began to sniff your nachos, how would you handle that?
I'd share.
You would? You're a dog lover.
I love dogs. I wouldn't say what I would do. It wouldn't be pretty for me or the dog.
Yeah, I'm sure it wouldn't.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for letting us
the owner of that dog.
Into Kruck's world. Any dogs in this
Don't
week?
mess with nachos, man.
No, not yours anyway. Here are the Diamond Cubs.
And there we go. Looks like he got roughed up.
Tim Lincecum is on his game. He's got it working tonight.
Greinke has another strikeout. Ooh, look out.
His first big league homer.
How do you think you're going to handle this?
See you later. And 70 career home runs, the most as a designated hitter.
Has he done it again? Yes! Andre Ethier with a walk-off home run! The ball game's over. The ball game's over. Another walk-off win.
And the Red Sox win it.
Ichiro wins it for the Mariners. Murphy muffed it twice, and the Braves win the game.
The unbelievable has happened. Welcome to the Cubs-Cardinals rivalry, Matt Holliday.
Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Well, an incredible and memorable week it was. A lot of energy, a lot of emotion, and certainly that little girl in Philadelphia. That was a huge story. That was a national story.
It was a national story, yeah. They bypassed Philly. They just went national.
They just went big time on that. All right, so let's look ahead to the week coming up. One of the things we talked about, Mr. G, was this Dodger pitching, and that's going to be tested.
Well, I mentioned Chad Billingsley. He's starting in Washington. Very important start. He's got a 5.49 ERA since the All-Star break. He is a really good pitcher. I don't know what it has been, his knee, what the problem has been, but he's a #1 starter when he's right. So it's very important for the Dodgers to get him on track as they go to Washington and Pittsburgh this week.
Rockies are winning still, 3-1 in their game, and everybody else that was chasing in both the leagues are losing. So Rockies got a nice homestand coming up.
Yeah, Rockies survived the scare this week, but here they are going home for 9 games, and the Cardinals are sandwiched in there. And I think this is a preview of a playoff game that's coming up. So the Rocky fans need to come out. But from a team that went 14 under 500 to 20 games over 500, they're hot. They're going to be in the playoffs, and you got a preview of the playoff matchup.
You got to deal with the G-Man.
And you got to deal with the Yankees, too. And who's pitching for the Yankees? The best team in baseball, and you have one good pitcher, CC Sabathia, the #1 with 18 wins. But after that, a bunch of question marks. A.J. Burnett's been inconsistent. His last start was good, but his previous 5 or 6 were awful. Jabba, we don't know what you're getting. Andy Pettit's coming back after missing a couple starts on Sunday. Who knows how that rotation's going to set up for the postseason?
Is it because we do this every day, but they're going to win 100 games? We ask more questions about them than you do almost any other team.
Isn't it special? Well, but they should expect that because they are the best team.
One of the questions we ask is that one of the greatest offensive infills of all time?
Teixeira, Cano, Jeter, Rodriguez, yeah. What's the answer?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. We'll come back on this
get more info
tonight. Speaking of close, this has people on the edge of their seats. Ow. The old Web Gem point race. Many at home counting along with us. Somebody else added to their total today on the West Coast swing. Check at the key games when we return. This is Baseball Tonight.
The dream is still alive. Someday it will come true. And this country, it belongs to folks like me and you. So let the voice of freedom sing out through this land. This is our country.
On the field and off, he gave all he had to give.
And his legacy lives on in the Roberto Clemente Award. Proudly supported by Chevy.
New One-A-Day Vitacraves, a complete adult multivitamin in a gummy to support energy, immunity, and your inner child. One-A-Day Vitacraves, multivitamin gummies for grown-ups.
Doing things differently leads to something exceptional in an absolute world.
The joyful noise of Bruce Hornsby and the Noisemakers. The new album, Levitate, available now.
ESPN360.com is your online home for live coverage of college football all season long. Choose from more than 350 games live on your computer and replay all the games you've missed. Plus, chat live with fellow fans and get up-to-date scores and stats in real time. So watch your favorite teams no matter where you live. Log on today to watch college football all season long with ESPN360.com.
Baseball Tonight is driven by Chevy, honoring the spirit of community by supporting the 2009 Roberto Clemente Award. And in part by One-A-Day Men's, the official multivitamin of MLB, specially formulated for men.
All right, so it seems like one of the things that happened on this Sunday is that all the teams, the Rabbits, as Peter would say, that had leads, kept their leads and increased them because all the chasers have kind of fallen by the wayside. Then there's the less significant, although in some people's minds more significant race, which is the race for the top web gem spot. So, Brian Zimmerman was your leader coming in. Would he add to that today? The Sunday web gems at 6. It starts with number 5, Eric Ibar. Chris Davis goes to center. And Ibar would, that's the shortstop.
Gosh.
His range is ridiculous.
You think?
Nice guy.
He ran 100 feet to get it.
Where was the second baseman, right fielder, center field?
Watching Ibar get a web gem.
Wow.
That's how you get him, Carl.
That's unbelievable play. Oh, what a job by the catcher whose feet went out from underneath him and still made the tag.
Oh, a little slide out right there. But look at the reach.
Number 3, you saw this. You got all excited about this play.
Well, you watch this play. It looked like it hooked on him, and then he had to make that on his back. Look at this throw by Brandon Phillips right there. Great throw, but then look at the versatility. The shortstop jumping. Oh, it looked like Omar Vizquel.
There's your leader right there. Here's your web gem leader, so he adds to his total the Z-Pack.
Ouch.
That's incredible. Look at the angle. He's almost to the first baseline. He throws it. That was a great play.
End of the year, of course, we'll hand out our Web Gem awards and should have
trophies.
A couple of the Web Gem winners with us in
big,
studio.
Big.
Lastings oh, what a catch.
Love seeing that hustle for him.
That is a great play by the Mill Dog.
Mid-September, and Lastings Millage still running it down, even though the Buccos are way out. So is this insurmountable?
Well, I'm thinking Mark Reynolds needs to go tell his pitchers, look, pitch the righties in, lefties away. I need some web gems.
Heard some bunts. Jack Wilson, Brandon Inge, everybody chasing the Nats third baseman Ryan Zimmerman.
Jack Wilson spent some time on the hurt list this year, so he missed some time, so he could have caught up.
Is that like the same as the disabled list?
Well, no, hurt list. He wasn't on the DL, he just hurt list.
The HL.
Yeah, can't play.
Let's get the West Coast swing here before we check out. We'll start with the Giants and the Dodgers. When we last checked, the Dodgers had banged Lincecum out of this game. Well, that's a Broxton strikeout, and the Dodgers beat him. They don't have any pitching, and yet they're winning these games.
Well, he's been a monster over the last couple of weeks, Jonathan Broxton. He's been lights out.
Morales in the ninth.
That's for ain't touching that. I'm sorry.
And that's it. Houston Street back this week. Aaron Cook's going to throw a simulated game, maybe back before the end of the year.
All right, so it's just struck me during this program that, and here's an example of it, the Rockies win, and the Giants lose, and the Braves and Marlins, and the Rangers lose, and the Red Sox win. What was today the end of the races? Is that what
I still think Minnesota has a chance, but yeah, I really do. I think that the National League has been decided, and I think it's between Minnesota and Detroit in the American League. Then let's dial up the postseason.
It's over?
I think the end of the innocence is just about here.
Oh.
I don't think there's any innocent
Winnie, is
people
there any
here.
innocence left on the set?
No, there is not. No, there is no innocence left. Essentially, Colorado, I think, has got it wrapped up. Minnesota's still in it. Give them a week.
We'll give them a week. We will also remind you next Sunday we'll follow the Red Sox. Yankees should be on around 4 o'clock Eastern Time. That's the Sunday edition of Baseball Tonight. Tomorrow, 1 a.m. Eastern Time. With Peter Gammons, Dave Winfield, John Kruck, and his world, I'm Carl Ravitch. Thanks for watching this edition of Baseball Tonight. SportsCenter is next. Big Heat.
This is SportsCenter. This episode of SportsCenter is presented by Bud Light.
Hey there, everybody. This is SportsCenter. I'm Matt Weiner, Chris Berman, John Saunders. All their NFL pals will be along to scrutinize Week 2 of the season in just a moment. First, though, it's playoff time. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup went green today. 12 drivers qualified, 10 races to decide the title. Mark Martin atop the standings at 50. He would be 5 years older than any previous Cup champ. Jimmy Johnson looking for his 4th straight Cup. Casey Kane tied for 4th, entering the chase. Blows the engine. There's the smoke. He finished 38th. Pit troubles. Kurt Busch